If you've ever sold a covered call and then you watch the stock price rip higher, then you know how frustrating it is to know that you capped your upside. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to adjust a covered call position so that you can reshape your payoff and give your shares more room to run. We're going to start with a simple covered call example to make sure we're on the same page, and then I'll walk you through rolling covered calls step by step with real numbers so you can understand what you're getting and what you're giving up with each roll. A covered call is comprised of buying or owning 100 shares of stock. So for example, let's say you buy 100 shares of stock for $120 a share. The second component of a covered call is selling to open a call option at a higher strike price. So in this example, we're looking at selling a 130 strike call option, collecting $5. When I do this, I collect $500 directly into my account for selling this call option. And I receive this premium because I'm essentially agreeing to sell my shares at $130 a share if I get assigned. I can quickly visualize this too using the covered call calculator on the projectoption website. So I buy the stock price for $120 and I sell a 130 call for $5. We can see the credit received is $500 and our max profit, if the shares get called away, is $1,500. And this chart visualizes that payoff diagram. The white line is our expiration payoff, which if we hold to expiration, we can see it flat lines at or above $130. Doesn't matter how high the stock price goes. If at expiration the stock is above 130 and we do nothing, our max profit is $1,500. But this payoff diagram is not set in stone. We can adjust this payoff diagram by rolling our covered call, and the particular shape we can achieve depends on the market conditions. So what is rolling a covered call? Like I said, you're never locked into your original position. You can roll the short call strike to reshape your payoff. So let's say our original short call is a 150 strike call with 30 days to expiration. To roll this, we could buy it back to close for $5. So we're paying $5 to close our original short call. But then we can open a new short call at a different strike price and usually in a further out expiration cycle. And if I sell this new short call for $5.25, I'll effectively collect a 25-cent credit. So I'm paying $5 to close the original call, and I'm selling a new short call for $5.25. So I collect more than I pay, and therefore I receive a credit for doing this rolling adjustment. I also extend my time by 30 days to expiration, but most importantly, I increase my strike price to $160. So instead of being in this original position where I'm obligated to sell the shares at $150 if assigned, now I have $10 more upside on the shares with my new $160 strike price. So now if I get assigned on the $160 calls, I am going to sell my shares at $160 as opposed to $150. I want to introduce you to the covered call roll map. And don't worry, I'm going to explain all of this. It's going to make complete sense. But this map teaches you everything you need to know about rolling covered calls. On the left, we have the strike prices. On the bottom, we have different expirations, different amounts of time until expiration. And let's say the stock price is at $90, and we currently have this short call. So we're short the 95 call in the 30-day expiration cycle. And this call is trading for $1.38. Everywhere on this map that is red means that we have to pay to roll our call to these strike prices. So for instance, if I want to roll my 95 call to the 100 strike call in the same expiration, I'm going to have to buy back this call for $1.38, and I'm going to have to sell this 100 call for 48 cents. And since I am paying more than I'm collecting for this roll, I'm going to have to pay a debit. Typically, you want to roll for a credit. So what we learn here is I can roll my covered call to the same strike out in time, and I can always collect a credit. But if I want to roll to a higher strike price, I have to go further out in time. For example, if I want to roll my covered call from a 95 strike to the 105 strike, then that means I have to go to the 180-day expiration cycle in this example. If I do that, I will buy back this short call, and then I could sell the 105 short call in the 180-day expiration cycle, and I would collect $3.32, collecting about a $2 credit. So if your short call is out of the money, you can always roll down in the same expiration. You can do that for a credit, or you can roll to the same strike out in time, and you'll always collect a credit. The further out in time you go, the higher the strike price you can sell while collecting a credit. Now let's look at another example. This time the stock is still at 90, but we're short the 90 call. So now our call is at the money. In this situation, the only way I can roll to a higher strike is if I go way out in time to the 180 or 365 day cycle. The furthest roll I could do would be buying back this 90 short call for 327, and I could roll all the way up to the 115 strike price and the 1 year expiration cycle for $4.59. So that would be a really healthy credit. But there's a downside to rolling far out in time, and that's when you roll far out, that means you're going to sacrifice the consistent income play that is usually associated with covered calls for capital appreciation. And you also end up with much slower decay on the short call. So for example, if we do this roll, if I buy back my short call here, the 90 strike in the 30-day cycle, and then I sell the 115 call in the 1 year cycle for $4.59, I'm going to collect a $132 credit, and I'm going to give my shares $25 more upside. However, if we compare the premium to the amount of days remaining, if I take my current call's total value of $327 and divide it by the time remaining, I get about $11 per day. This means if the stock price stays exactly flat, this call option, using just linear math, is going to lose about $11 per day, which means since I'm short this call, I'm going to make about $11 per day from theta decay. But if I roll way out in time and I take that call's value and divide it by 365, now we can see that call is decaying at about $1.26 per day. This is much less favorable to me from an income standpoint and a time decay standpoint, but this is offset by me getting an additional 25 points of upside on the shares that I own. So this highlights that when you take your covered call and you roll it way out in time to a higher strike price, you sacrifice that income play because you're going to be in a longer term expiration cycle. You're not going to be rolling it over every month, but you are going to get substantially more upside on your shares. I'm going to use the option modeler on projectoption.com to show you what it looks like to roll a covered call. In this position, I have 100 shares of Netflix purchased at $84, and they've been increasing substantially in recent weeks. So I'm up a good amount of money on the shares. However, I have a 95 strike short call expiring in 17 days, and the stock price is currently at $97.26. So we can see I've already breached the short call strike price, and my profit is going to be capped if I hold this position to expiration and Netflix stays above 97. To roll this call, I can buy back the 97 call, and I can target a longer term expiration and a higher strike price to collect more premium than I pay to roll this call. I can enable adjustment modeling above the options chain to do this. When I enable adjustment modeling, I can right-click on the 97 call and hit Model Closing Trade. This queues up an order to buy back the 97 call for the current price of $3.43. Now I have to go to a longer-term expiration, so let's go to the 73-day cycle. And now I'm going to be looking for call options that have a premium greater than $3.43, but have a higher strike price. So when I look at these call options on the left, if we go to higher and higher strike prices, we'll notice that the highest strike I can roll to is the 107. That's because this 107 call is worth $3.45. I will collect a 2-cent credit. We'll see I have a few sets of curves now on the chart. The dashed lines are the original covered call position, and we can see that the original position has capped profitability at any price above 97. And that's because my original short call was the 97 strike. The solid lines shows my new payoff if I do this roll. If I make this adjustment, we can see that I will have way more upside on my shares because now I will have the 107 short call, which means my profitability on the shares caps out at 107 as opposed to 97. And the blue and orange lines show the estimated P&L between now and expiration. If I open up the adjustment modeling tab and I hover over these higher stock prices, you will see that I have a positive delta column. This positive delta column tells me how much my P&L benefit will be at different points in time and at different stock prices if I make this adjustment. So for example, if I hover over 107, it says if the stock price goes to 107 today or T plus 0, my position P&L will be about $290 higher than if I didn't make the adjustment. And then at expiration, my P&L is $1,000 higher since I am increasing my short call strike by $10 and therefore giving myself an additional $1,000 of profit potential on the stock position of 100 shares. If we wanted to go to an even higher strike price because we expect a lot more upside on the shares, I can remove the 107 call from the adjustments. I can go back to the options chain, and I could go out to, let's just say, the January 2028 cycle with 689 days to expiration. If I look at these strike prices and call options, we can see that these options are super expensive because they have almost 2 years to go. So I can open up more strike prices, and let me just keep going way higher. We can see I can go basically almost to the maximum strike price listed and still collect a 343 credit. So I could go to the 180 call, for example, collect $4.12 for this, and I could collect a decent credit for doing that. We can see way down here, my original covered call position has no increase in profitability if the stock price is above 97. But if I wanted to really give myself more upside potential on the shares, I could buy back this 97 call, and I could roll it all the way to the 180 call in 2 years, collect a credit for doing so, and I would give myself $83 of additional upside on the shares, which obligates me to sell my shares at 180 as opposed to 97 if I am assigned on that call. I want to go through one more example because that example we were rolling a slightly in the money call option, but things change dramatically when you're rolling a deep in the money call option. So let's say I bought these Netflix shares at $80 per share, and I sold this 90 call option expiring in 17 days for $2. And I sold this many weeks ago, which is why the price is way cheaper. And now the price is $8.35. So I have a $635 loss on this short call. Now let's say I want to roll this short call to a higher strike price. Our options will be more limited now since this option is deep in the money. So I can enable adjustment modeling, right click and hit model closing trade, and I'm buying this back for $8.35. So if I go to the 45-day expiration cycle and look at the call options, we can see that the highest strike that has a price above $8.35 is the 92 strike. So if I go 30 days out in time, I can only roll my call up by 2 points and it will still be in the money. So that means I have to go further out in time. We go to the 73-day cycle. We can see I can sell the 95 strike for $8.57, which again gives me a credit. Again, I could go way far out in time too if I really wanted to get aggressive. And let's see how high we can go if we go to the 2-year expiration cycle. In this example, I can sell the 145 strike and collect a credit. If I go to the 689-day expiration cycle, I can roll to the 145 call, which is still good because I'm collecting a credit and getting a lot more upside on the shares. But compared to the situation before, where we were able to roll to the 180 strike, it is not as favorable. So the key point here is that the deeper in the money your short call gets, the more expensive it's going to be to buy it back because you're paying a lot of intrinsic value, and you're going to have less flexibility with which strike prices you can roll to while still collecting a credit. With all this in mind, this puts together a nice playbook for selling and managing covered calls. So you're going to go into it with the idea that you're going to sell covered calls and you're going to collect the premiums so long as those options expire worthless and the stock stays below that strike price. But using what you've learned in this video, now you can understand that if the stock price starts running and starts to approach your short strike, you have options available to you, pun intended, and you can adjust that covered call to give your shares more room to the upside if you're expecting that move to continue. But by doing so, you do sacrifice the short-term income play in exchange for more appreciation on your shares, especially if you roll super far out in time. If you want a great resource that covers the most essential beginner options trading concepts, check out my Options Trading for Beginners PDF, which is over 160 pages at this point. It's packed with visuals, concrete examples, and historical trades laid out step by step, in addition to a few bonus PDFs on other popular topics as well. You can get all of that for free in the description below. My name is Chris from Project Option, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.